Hi guys, I Aziz welcome you to CoedMaster, and in this video I am going to talk about abstraction. So guys, abstraction is the core principle of object-oriented programming. So in this video I am going to demystify the concept of abstraction. I will explain what is abstraction using real-world example. On top of it, I will explain what is the idea that goes behind abstraction and why we even need abstraction. So if you are willing to learn abstraction, then this video is for you. So make sure to watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Alright guys. So guys, in terms of object-oriented programming, the definition of abstraction says that abstraction is a process of hiding unnecessary detail and just showing the important and relevant information. Now let me understand this concept using some example. So if I ask you that on which device you are watching this video, so you would probably watching this video on laptop, desktop or mobile phone. Now my question to you is, care about how your computers turn on and your mobile phones turn on? What is the actual process that is going behind these operations? I mean, what are the binary operations that are executing behind the scene to get your mobile phone or laptop turned on? Do you even care about it? Absolutely no, right? Now, as you are watching this video on your laptop, do you ever care about that how this video is being stored on Google servers? What are the encoding being used to encode these videos? And how all of these videos are streamed from Google server all the way to your laptop? Do you care about these information? Your answer would be definitely no. You absolutely do not need to care about all of this information. So guys, the exact same concept apply in programming also. When we have program, we have a lot of classes and lot of objects. And it may be possible that one object contains many methods, like 5 to 10 methods. Okay. So do we really care about all of these methods? Or we only care about what this object does? So let me show you this example. And using this example, we will understand the concept of abstraction. So here I have a class, notification class, and the purpose of this class to send the notification, okay? And then I have another class that is push notification class. So what is the purpose of this class? The purpose of this class is to send push notification to customers or users. And it may be possible that your customer uses Google phone or Apple phone. So this class sends push notification to Google user as well as Apple user. Okay, now this class extends this notification class. So this notification class has all the common properties and method that is used in this notification class, or maybe in future if we have more notification class, we may use all the common features in that class also. Now if you look at this class implements the iNotification interface. So this is a contract which is obeyed by this class, or we can say that this class follows this contract or implements this contract, okay? And this contract has only one method, that is send method, okay? So these are all about classes and interfaces. For example, I want to use this class to send push notification to users. So what do? We simply create the instance of push notification, then create the instance of notification service class, and we will call this send method of notification service class to send push notification. It is as simple as that. Now, in this case, you do not care about how push notification actually being sent, right? So if you look at this push notification class, we have so many things that goes behind the scene. So for example, when you call send method, it will send push notification to Google users, and then it will send push notification to Apple user, okay? And what this method does? So this method does a lot of things. For example, making a payload specific to Google notification, then establish a connection to Google server, then send request to a Google server with payload, and then close the connection. Similarly, to send push notification to Apple server, this method has to first prepare a payload for Apple specific push notification, then it has to establish a connection to Apple server, then it has to send request with payload to Apple server, and then it has to close the connection with the Apple server. So all of these things goes behind the scene when you use the send method of push notification class. Now guys, let me show you one thing. So if you call notification service and put a dot after it, you will see that you will only see the send method. So why is it so? Why you are not able to see the send to Google method and send to Apple method. So guys, this is where the concept of abstraction comes into picture. So by using abstraction, we are only showing the important and relevant details to the end user by hiding the unnecessary details. So for any user only needs to send a notification. So to send a notification, he do not need to know all the internal details that how actually notification is being sent, right? So the question over here is what advantage we get using abstraction. So guys, the advantage is simple, that user is getting a cleaner interface to use any feature. He or she do not have to worry about how internal implementation is done, right? So by using the send method, the user is getting the clean interface, that is send method, and by using this send method, he can or she can send push notification to any users. And this is how all the objects in object-oriented programming communicates with each other. So it might be possible that there are two objects and both the objects wants to communicate with each other. So for example, object 1 has 10 methods and object 2 also has 10 methods. But in both the objects, only one method is useful to communicate with each other. So what object 1 does, it abstracts away all the unnecessary information in a separate method, and it only exposes the main method that is used by other objects, okay, and that is publicly available, okay. Similarly, object 2 also hides all the unnecessary information using the private methods, and it will only expose the main method that other users or other objects can access. So in context to this example, in order to send push notification, we do not have to care about how internal implementation is done or how internally push notification has been sent. We just have to call the send method and pass the push notification instance into it, and that's it. We are all done. So this is the idea behind the abstraction, that we can hide the internal implementation and show the only relevant and important information to user to make the end user life easy, right? The main idea behind the abstraction is this, that we want to make the life of end user easy so that he has to make less efforts while programming. Now this brings us to the next question, that how are we going to implement abstraction? So there are multiple ways to implement abstraction. One is through the interface or one is through the abstract classes. So if you look at this example carefully, I have implemented abstraction using interface. So we have this interface iNotification, and this interface has only one method, that is send, okay. So our push notification class is implementing this interface and providing this send as public method. Apart from this, the other methods are private. That is why we are not able to see all of this method. So these are the internal details that we do not want to expose to the outside world, right? So this is how we can implement abstraction using interfaces. Although you can also implement abstraction using abstract classes, okay. This is a topic for some other video, okay. Now, apart from this, there are two types of abstraction. One is the data abstraction and the second one is the process abstraction, okay. Now, how to implement the data abstraction? Let me show you. So before we implement data abstraction, let me show you something. So if you call push notification dot, you will see that you can able to see the badge property of this class. Okay, but according to abstraction, this should be hidden from the outside world, okay, but right now it is visible to outside world. So how can we make this property abstract? So to make this property abstract, we just have to change the access modifier from public to private, and we are good to go. So this is how we achieve abstraction, specifically data abstraction, using access modifier. Now you will see that we are no more able to see the badge property using push notification object. Okay, so this is the one type of abstraction, that is data abstraction. Now, how to implement the process abstraction? So using the same mechanism, we can achieve the process abstraction. So for example, right now I have already put the private keyword in front of this method. So let's make it public first. Okay, now let me show you. So if you call push notification object dot, you will see that you are able to see send to Apple method and send to Google method, but these two methods are considered as internal method, right? Because this method contains all the internal details of how to send push notification to Google or Apple users, right? So in order to hide all of these internal details from outside world, what do? We just have to make this method from public to private. So this is how we will achieve process abstraction, right? So now if I write push notification dot, now you will see that we are not able to see send to Google or send to Apple methods. And although we are not interested in knowing the internal details of the method. So guys, I hope by now you understood what is abstraction and why we need abstraction. So abstraction is nothing but a process of hiding unnecessary details and just showing the important and relevant information to the outside world or the users. And why we need abstraction? As simple as that, to make the end user lives easy, so that he or she do not have to worry about how internal implementation is done. Okay. Now for example, if I say that you need to learn how push notification actually works, then it would be very difficult for you to use this class. You had to go to all the information of the send to Google method. You have to read about payload. You have to read about establishing a connection. You have to read about all the requests, how to send requests to Google, and so on and so forth. You have to do all the same steps for Apple also. So all of these makes your life very difficult. So using abstraction, our task or our goal is to just provide the clean interface to the outside world so that they can use classes more efficiently and it drastically reduces the programming effort. So guys, this is all from my side for this video. If you have learned something valuable from this video, then please hit the like button in order to make YouTube algorithm happy. Please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so my friend you never miss any upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.